Welcome to the Huawei Industry Digital Transformation Conference. In this particular session, we will focus on ICT innovation in modern education and the application of online and offline teaching and learning. And we will introduce smart classrooms based on cloud services and high availability networks. My name is Edwin Diender. I am Chief Digital Transformation Officer in Huawei Enterprise Technologies, and I support our customers with their digital journey, with a special focus on education. We have a great lineup of speakers and a lot of knowledge to share, and it is my honor to host this session. Please welcome our first speaker, Mr. John Tao, who is the Director of UNESCO Institute for Information Technology in Education. And he will speak about reshaping teaching and learning by the use of innovation and technology. Mr. John Tao.
Dear colleagues and friends from Huawei and the world, greetings from UNESCO Institute IITE in Moscow. I'm very delighted to be invited as a speaker in this education session focusing on education innovation during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. Let me first say a few words about UNESCO and my institute, IITE. As you know, UNESCO is a United Nations agency founded after the World War II with its unique mission of building peace in the minds of men and women. Its goal in education for the next 10 years is to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, or the so-called SDG 4 of ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, for everyone. SDG 4 is one of the 17 goals adopted collectively by all UN member states in 2015, where inclusion, equity, and quality education are the key words of this ambitious commitment by all countries and all of us. UNESCO has its headquarters in Paris and its field offices across the world, some at the regional level, some at sub-regional or country level. In addition to headquarters and field offices, UNESCO also has a number of Category 1 institutes, 7 in education with geographic and thematic structures globally. My institute, UNESCO Institute for Information Technologies in Education, IITE, founded in 1997 in Moscow, is one of the Category 1 institutes, and the only one with its mandate as promoting digital education at the global level. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the world just overnight. It also changed our mind and the way of thinking. The pandemic is an unprecedented threat to our health and safety, an unprecedented challenge to our education system. However, it is also a unique opportunity for education innovation. As someone working in education for over 30 years and in the field of ICT in education over 10 years, I always believe without any hesitation that education will go digital. Digitalization is the future of education. However, frankly speaking, I had never expected that this process has been accelerated by the crisis, by this pandemic. I had never expected that my institute has such an important role to play during the crisis and for future education. Innovation and digitalization will define future education, yet this cannot be achieved by education sector and educators alone. It has to be done with collective strength and collective actions of all partners and all sectors, especially the technology sector, the leading IT technology and service providers. Therefore, I very much appreciate the great effort of Huawei colleagues in organizing this important event at the challenging situation. It is the right time for us to look at the future, the new normal, the design of future teaching and learning based on lessons learned from the pandemic. Dear colleagues and friends, let me share with you briefly UNESCO's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, from which you can see the priorities and the focuses of UNESCO during and post the pandemic. UNESCO has taken immediate actions since the very beginning of the pandemic, aiming at mobilizing all possible resources and multi-sector partners at the global and regional as well as local level to support countries in needs, to support teachers, students, parents, as well as policymakers. The flagship of UNESCO education response is its new global education coalition, engaging partners from different sectors, where Huawei is one of the members who contribute to online teaching and learning, to Africa priority and beyond. UNESCO IITE, as an integral part of UNESCO, has been working very closely and effectively with Huawei and other partners by offering webinars, free public tours and digital resources, as well as guidance and recommendations to educators, learners, parents, and education policymakers. At the beginning of the pandemic, UNESCO's action mainly focused on how to keep learning continuity during school and university closure, where online and distance education are the major approach. The priority areas are connectivity, including infrastructure and digital resources that support online and distance learning, gender equality, and different vulnerable groups that need special support during the crisis. Teachers as the first responders during the pandemic, who play a critical role and who need special support. While the special topics we are focusing on are learning, how to keep learning continuity through collective support, and high-tech, low-tech mixed solutions to online and distance learning. Safety and psychological support, how to keep students and teachers in safe, and how to offer psychological support during school closure. School reopen, how to manage it, how to handle school reopen and the relevant challenges, as this is something new to all of us. In parallel to emergency response, UNESCO is also focusing on education post-pandemic, the so-called new normal, and education in post-pandemic period. Although we are still in crisis, although the pandemic is still threatening most parts of the world, however, it is the right time for us to look at the future and to design future education system based on new lessons learned from this crisis. What are the new lessons learned? First of all, it is apparent that education system is not prepared for the crisis. Not only for countries with less connectivities and less digital resources, but for all countries. For remote regions and big cities, for schools and universities. Therefore, to design and build a resilient education system is relevant and critical for any future crisis, though we hope there will be no one further ahead of us. However, this is not enough. What we learned from the pandemic is beyond education in crisis, is beyond education in emergency situations. The pandemic has forced us to rethink the way of teaching and learning, to rethink our education system, to rethink how far we are from digital learning and online education, how far we are from the goal SDG 4, and the major challenges of future education as we are going digital. I'd like to share some of my ideas and concerns on this issue. First, education will go digital. Innovation is the unique power. I know not everyone is so optimistic. Yes, we are still in crisis. Yes, many places of the world do not have access to connectivity yet. But this could not stop us looking at the future as a post-pandemic. If we look at the history of human beings, after every crisis, there must be new booming. This is the strength and the resilience of human beings. This time, after pandemic, the new booming will definitely come from digital technology, digital economy, digital education. This is a unique opportunity for education. Therefore, we need to redesign and replan our education system to embrace and be prepared for the new age of education. We often talk about how new technology could help us enjoying better education. This is important, however, not enough. The new era of education will be an era when education and technology are inspiring each other, interacting with each other, and developing together. It will be the golden era of collaboration between education and the technology sector. My institute is working together with our partners on this topic at both theoretical and practical level. As an example, IIT is working together with Beijing Normal University, Russian Research University of High School of Economics, the Commonwealth of Learning, and the International Society for Technology in Education on a new project called Rethinking and Redesigning National Smart Education Strategy. An important topic is new pedagogy inspired by digital technology, enabled teaching and learning. Evidence-based research would lead transformation and human-centered learning in a positive and effective approach. While we are still far away from establishing new theories and new pedagogy, one of the major concerns and focuses is inclusion. It will be the key challenge, at least one of the key challenges. It is obvious that the vulnerable is becoming even more vulnerable during crisis. And the so-called digital divide or digital use divide might become more significant rather than narrowed. There is no easy solution to this challenging issue. We must prove that advanced technology, when guided by the right value and direction and combined with partnership, could benefit not just a few, but all, but everyone. Therefore, collective actions and the contribution of technology partners are crucial. Dear colleagues and friends, it is fascinating living in a time of challenge, an age of innovation. There are still so many open questions and challenges ahead of us. It is clear that this is mission impossible unless we work collectively and creatively. This conference is a good example and a platform. I hope that Huawei as a global technology giant could play a leading role. I'm also looking forward to working together with all partners presenting here for our shared mission and goal. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. John Tao, Director of UNESCO Institute for Information Technology and Education. Our next speaker is a woman. We need diversity in industry. Mrs. Song Min is Vice Principal of Minzu University in China, and she will share the experiences from Minzu University when it comes to the influence of the ICT developments on modern teaching. Mrs. Song Min.
I'm delighted to attend Huawei Industrial Digital Transformation Conference and discuss how ICT influences and brings challenges to education. As we know, education is a course oriented towards the future, aiming to cultivate individuals for the future society. ICT will have strategically important impact on education, in particular, the teaching modes. So today, I would like to share my views from the following aspects. First, if we take a step back, the impact of the new technological revolution on the broader human society. The world is embracing the fourth industrial revolution. The integration between physical, cyber, and biological space enabled by innovations such as AI, life science, IoT, robotics, new energy, and intelligent manufacturing has brought many new challenges to our world. It will also fundamentally change the way we learn, live, and work at a scale, scope, and complexity that humans have never experienced before. So human society will usher in an intelligent era characterized by man-machine synergy, cross-industry convergence, and co-creation and sharing. According to an analysis by the Oxford Martin School, nearly half of the jobs in the United States will be computerized by the fourth industrial revolution in the next decade or two. And another 20% are quite likely to be automated too. Now, I'd like to focus on ICT. My view is that ICT will drive the digital transformation of the education industry. ICT, the close integration of IT and CT, is regarded as a critical strategy in many countries to seize the opportunities of the next generation industrial revolution. With the development of technologies, ICT devices will become more intelligent. For example, the maturing of AI algorithms such as deep learning, the increasing compute capacity of specialized AI chips, and cloud computing provide conditions for the application of AI agents. On the other hand, 5G and IoT will provide powerful connectivity. It is by combining such intelligence and connectivity, I think, Huawei builds a digital world able to carry the digital twins of services across separate systems and to drive enterprise digital transformation. As an educator and education manager, I am deeply impressed by Huawei's success cases in digital transformation. I also seek to apply Huawei's experience in digital transformation to benefit higher education and university governance. We have reason to believe that ICT will power the digital transformation of the education industry. Let's look at how ICT drives the transformation of education models. Education is a type of social activities to cultivate people. It consists of three elements: educators, recipients, and influence. Educator acts as initiator, promoter, and facilitator of educational activities. Recipient is the subject and object of educational activities and the purpose of educational activities. Educational influence is the media and tools to realize the educational activities. These three elements are separated yet mutually delimiting. Together, they form the educational activity. For a long time, education has been about passing on the knowledge and accumulated experience of mankind and inculcating the basic model of human society. Its interplay with morals and norms enables society to form broader consensus and deeper insights. At the same time, the deepening of education development gives more people access and understanding of civilization and promotes the advance of civilization. In the early stage, the role of information technology is mainly to improve the communication efficiency of the society, reduce the cost of information flow, and scale collaboration. The Internet revolution and emerging technologies, especially ICT technologies, spurred major changes in education influence, that is, the media and tools of education. This type of change is reflected in the explosive growth of the amount of educational information. The means of communication are also disrupted by innovations. Now, communications is happening at a pace faster than ever. The change in the influence element also has impact on the behavior of educators and recipients. For example, new forms of learning will emerge. ICT is driving systemic changes in education. First of all, the purpose of educational activities has changed from passing on human experience to stimulating human imagination and acquiring methods of producing new knowledge. For example, students learn information technology in the classroom not only to learn how to operate the technologies, but also to master meta-technologies, meta-frameworks, and meta-theories so that they can make use of man-machine collaboration technology to create new knowledge. Second, the process of educational activities also shifts from the transfer of experience and the validation and verification of the transfer to the transfer of knowledge acquisition methods, validation of the method, and the actual creation of new knowledge. In this process, interactive, exploratory, and hands-on teaching becomes a bigger part. And that is precisely the possibility ICT can provide for teaching transformation. Teaching methods such as VR, AR, cross-border interaction, and man-machine collaboration are moving to the center stage. Third, the environment in which educational activities take place is also disrupted by ICT. Time and space no longer separates educators and learners. We can allocate actively and effectively educational resources across the globe. In addition, new knowledge is created much faster than the accumulation of human experience. Therefore, how to equip learners with the ability of lifelong learning and make that a habit has become another important purpose of education. The fourth aspect of change is that educators are no longer confined to teachers in the traditional sense. Machines can also be teachers. Of course, machine teachers include not only robot teachers, but also online resources of connected terminals and education platforms and intelligent robot teachers. Online resource-based teaching are available with existing technologies. For example, on the MOOC platforms, learners can obtain free resources anytime and anywhere to meet their learning needs. At the same time, the multi-direction flow of educational resources, thanks to network connectivity, ensures high-quality educational resources being accessible to more people, contributing to educational equity. For example, now in China, many children in remote areas can receive high-quality education through the internet as those in developed areas. At the same time, intelligent robot teachers will appear in the future. They are able to collect data of the learning process, diagnose learning obstacles, give timely feedback on the performance of students and guidance on their personal development, and run simulation to support educational decision. Fifth, I think that the emergence of disruptive technologies and the explosion of knowledge have reshaped the boundaries between different disciplines and subjects. Technology convergence and interdisciplinary integration will enter a new level. All these will fundamentally change how we think about and approach education, how to learn, how to teach, and what to teach. It should be said that in the future, education will emphasize on student-centric, personalized teaching and learning and achieve scale and personalization at the same time. How should we respond to the changes? From a global perspective, the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development recognizes that universal ICT can accelerate social advancement, bridge the digital divide, and help build a more inclusive knowledge society. UNESCO believes that an inclusive knowledge society must build on 4 pillars: freedom of expression, universal access to information and knowledge, respect for cultural and linguistic diversity, and quality education for all. Innovative ICT solutions help learners get high-quality lifelong learning, acquire information and knowledge, and participate fully in society. Therefore, UNESCO released its ICT competence framework for teachers in 2018, which calls for improving teachers' ICT capabilities globally. In 2018, China's Ministry of Education issued the Action Plan 2.0 for education informatization, which aims to leverage emerging technologies such as AI, big data, and IoT, as well as smart devices and networks, and carry out innovative research and demonstration of smart education applications. In 2019, the Chinese government released China Education Modernization 2035, which stipulates the strategic task of promoting IT-based education transformation, ushering in a new era of smart education. So how should educators prepare for the ICT challenge? In the face of knowledge explosion, how should we provide students with future-oriented knowledge? First of all, educators should develop the habit of lifelong learning for their own personal growth. They would update themselves with both subject matter expertise and information technology that facilitates teaching, with the aim to improve data literacy, technological literacy, and humanistic literacy. For example, when teachers know how to produce and collect data, they can modify their teaching informed by data about students' learning process, such as their online learning records. Teachers can identify students' characteristics and potential learning obstacles. In this way, personalized learning is possible, supported by teacher-machine synergy. In addition, teachers can iteratively analyze learner profile based on big data technology as input of research on teaching and academic paradigm. By cultivating their own humanistic literacy, teachers can understand the diversity of students and respect their choices, therefore communicate with them more effectively on defining the scope of questions and help them pursue the right academic direction. Secondly, educators should change their mindset and their role. With the rapid development of ICT, the amount of new knowledge created by AI in a year is likely to exceed the sum of human experience and knowledge accumulated over 5,000 years. It can be said that memorizing knowledge is no longer the main learning objective. Teachers should be committed to promoting deep and meaningful learning. Therefore, teachers must perceive their role differently, not as an educator in the traditional sense, but a supervisor and facilitator of learning, personal development, and habit forming, and shift from instilling knowledge to igniting ideas. Third, colleges and universities should strive to provide students with an intelligent learning environment. For example, deploying intelligent teaching facilities to provide immersive learning experience and VR, AR technologies to provide an in-person experience to make learning more intuitive, effective, and efficient. In addition, by building an intelligent learning environment which collects and analyzes data about the learning process, educational resources can be allocated more effectively to cater for different student groups, so students can enjoy more convenient, engaging, and effective learning. Third, we should deepen educational reform and improve our systems and mechanisms to promote innovation in teaching and cultivation methods and interdisciplinary development. Fourth, ICT providers should continue to explore educational use cases and meet the needs of diversified learning. Early movers have already started to work with schools and universities on use cases and have developed preliminary cases of smart campus, smart classroom, live streaming teaching, holographic teaching, VR teaching, and experiment simulation, etc. However, these are not enough. There is still a lot of potential to be explored in terms of ICT application in education. In the future, we need to accelerate adoption of innovative ICT in education, give full play to educational ICT, promote a new education and teaching ecosystem, and accelerate the progress of smart education. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mrs. Song Min, Vice Principal of Minzu University in China, for your sharing of insights and experience. ICT technologies do not only affect learning and teaching, but also university campuses, buildings, classrooms, and the surrounding area. Our next speaker, Professor Dr. Rahmat Mohamad, is Deputy Vice Chancellor of the Universitat Teknologi Mara in Malaysia, and he will talk about how ICT is transforming the university campus. Professor Dr. Rahmat Mohamad.
Thank you for that generous introduction. Esteemed speakers, our renowned partner Huawei, honored invitees, ladies and gentlemen, and all those who have been involved directly or otherwise in the organization of this conference. Good day, and I pray that everyone viewing this speech via webcast is in the best of health and at the same time keeping safe. Firstly, it is a great honor for me to be invited to this Industrial Digital Transformation Conference 2021, hosted by Huawei, and to be given this great opportunity to present my speech. Makes it even more momentous as this conference is webcast globally. On behalf of University Technology Mara Malaysia, and as the only education partners of Huawei Technologies Malaysia's Berhad, I would like to say that this would set the course of our collaboration and partnership would move into the future. I foresee a cooperation that will impact the world of academia and reciprocally shape the future of ICT industry in Malaysia. My hope is that this keynote will help in some small way steer the course of our future undertaking as we deliberate on the issue of how ICT transform the education and campus. To start off, let me recap on the spirit of UITM-Huawei partnership. As partners, we agree to recognize our reciprocal capacity to tap on our respective expertise and strengths to achieve the following objective. We know that we can leverage Huawei's smart campus technology to develop an intelligent campus which consists of cutting-edge digital infrastructure and cybersecurity solutions facilitated through smart classroom and virtual desktop infrastructure. This smart campus initiative would make it possible for UITM campuses throughout the whole nation to be equipped and ready for the future. Part of our plan also is to create a smart data center and ICT infrastructure solutions via workshops and technical discussions using Huawei's technological and technical expertise, which will then be implemented through digital solutions at UITM campuses nationwide. I believe that this project will be collaboratively driven by relevant faculties, such as the faculties of Computer Sciences and Mathematics, Electrical Engineering, and the Office of Infrastructure UITM. In upholding Huawei and UITM commitment to developing local ICT talents, the Huawei ICT Academy will set up to train and expand the number of ICT talents within UITM with the added value of holding Huawei certifications. Reciprocally speaking, Huawei would achieve its goal to help empower universities and communities with the right innovative technologies. While UITM, as one of the Malaysia's largest universities, can be a hub for development of innovative solutions and local talent to drive digital transformation in Malaysia. Having said that, I will proceed by deliberating and expounding on the following elements in this presentation. The need for universities to be empowered by ICT for continual improvement. The alignment of UITM ICT objective with the national and ministry's agenda as part of the national development. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on ICT's development in UITM and UITM's mitigation plan in handling the current demand for ICT-driven education. About 5 years ago, the IR 4.0 pushed universities to relook at their function and roles in producing graduates who would have to compete in the gig economy. With the revolution, we needed to incorporate technology in the training of graduates as the world became knowledge and technology-driven for them to be competitive. In this era, the technological wave of emerging digital operations with companies revolutionizing their business with the use of artificial intelligence, robotic, cognitive computing, and the industrial Internet of Things were introduced into our life. Subsequently, the competition for who can master and capitalize on these operations would prove advantageous to organizations. Universities then have had to ensure that their goals shift to meet this demand. The government and ministries in Malaysia started designing policies to facilitate the IR 4.0. As we progress to keep up with the world that is dynamic and constantly changing. University Technology Mara, being a public university that has the biggest population in the country, needs to address this demand quickly. We have had to align our plan with the National Digital Blueprint anchored on the 6 strategic thrusts that have been identified, namely, drive digital transformation in the public sector, boost economic competitiveness through digitalization, build enabling digital infrastructure, build agile and competent digital talent, create an inclusive digital society, build trusted, secure, and ethical digital environment. UITI made its own strategic plan to facilitate the digital economy and the demand of IR 4.0, had designed the Education 5.0, navigating the future plan to map out how ICT is instrumental in ensuring we realize this plan. UITM's strategic initiative in providing quality education, attaining global excellence, and inculcating value-driven performance depend greatly on ICT-driven system and infrastructure. Plans were underway, but with the unprecedented challenge of COVID-19 pandemic, our system were put to a test. In the current state of overcoming the challenges brought about by COVID-19 pandemic, ICT and network became an even more demanding commodity. Connection and ODL became the buzzword, and the need to find innovative solutions to deal with a world of a new norm was urgent. UITM was driving its community full throttle to ensure that quality teaching and learning are delivered. There were definitely hiccups, but they were to be expected because the pandemic was a tsunami that caught the world unaware. Today, the adjustment to the new norm has resulted in our ability to capitalize on our existing resources and expedited our intention to deliver our teaching and learning online. These are great feats because they prove that we are resilient and that we are creative in our pursuit for sustainability. The paradigm shift of not keeping to old ways, but adopting new methods, works such as hybrid or synchronous teaching, incorporating multiple existing teaching platforms into our system, establishing the Center for Innovative Delivery and Learning Development, require a strong and trustworthy ICT infrastructure. This is imperative as it has become incumbent on us to work and exist with the aid of ICT. The coronavirus outbreak has and still is impacting all industries, including information and communication technologies sector. Tech giants have halted operation, canceled their participation in important events and conferences, and announced financial objectives below expectation. This is another element for us to deliberate on. We exist in an ecosystem of interdependencies. The engine that keeps us going in today's world is ICT. The question that we have to ask now is, how do we deal with the challenges that we are confronted with? When we see ourselves as team players, we will see that our roles and intermingle with other organization roles in the ecosystem. When companies are affected, we are too. We need to re-evaluate our end of the production of workforce to see how we can fit in the jigsaw puzzle of the national economy. This is where smart partnership and collaboration play a significant part in the recovery plan for the nations and world economy. As we consider the framework on how to work with the industry, we cannot ignore that we are a part of the bigger community. When we can address the fundamental issues that affect the community, particularly in the wake of the pandemic, only then we deliver quality education. Basic issues like connectivity, lack of computer equipment, and know-how are still rampant and urgent. This is where our industry, community, and university cooperation would yield solutions that may be costly in the initial stages, but would generate products and fruits that are worth the sacrifice later. Investing in education of the nation's youth and educational institutions has always proven beneficial to the communities and nations. At the heart of this formula for success is information and communication technologies. I hope that with the plans that we have designed and our dependency on ICT to carry us through these plans, we should not forget one very crucial point, and that is at the heart of the ecosystem, the technology and advancements are actually the human itself. It is a human who creates this technology, and it is a human who will use the technology. We have not reached the point where technology creates another technology. Until then, we should invest in our people so that they can use technology, particularly ICT, wisely and for the greater good. Before I end, let me take this opportunity to convey my greatest appreciation to Huawei for organizing this conference, and that we at UITM are excited and ready to explore the future with Huawei. I thank the invited guests and participants for taking the time to be a part of this virtual gathering as we traverse through the world of the new norms. May this conference benefit all of us. I thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Rahmat Mohamad, Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the Universiteit Teknologi Mara in Malaysia. Before launching our flagship product for smart classrooms, please welcome Mr. Anthony Sujun, who is Vice President of our Global Government Business Unit, to introduce our smart classroom solution. Mr. Anthony Sujun.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Xu. I'm responsible for the education sector at Huawei. After the presentation of our distinguished guest, I'm very glad to show you how Huawei can help build a better world of education through innovative technology. Well-designed ICT solution can be used to share resources, bring rich knowledge to students, enhance teachers' practice and students' performance, improve school management, and support data-driven policy making. Generally, smart education involves three categories of all elements, which we can layer and visualize. From bottom to top, the fourth layer is ICT infrastructure, the foundation which aims to connect students and teachers and which provides connectivities for intelligence device and data storage. The second one is the platform and the applications which provide smart tools for teaching, management, and analysis throughout the education process. On top of that, we see the digital content which are provided by ministers, teachers, researching teams, and publishing houses. Huawei is passionate about education. In everything we do, our goal is to enable transformation with leading technology and a sustainable ecosystem. We provide a full-stack ICT infrastructure, including device, paper, and cloud to accelerate the digital journey of the education. Through progressive innovation, a simple, safe, open, and intelligent foundation will be achieved. Furthermore, as innovation partner, we attract and cooperate with leading partners to build a complete education solution portfolio and ecosystem. Traditionally, the education department and the institution facing similar challenges, such as inefficient management of scattered schools, difficult sharing of education resources, and education inequality. To address these challenges, Huawei Smart Education Solution is based on a cloud architecture and offer education cloud platform and service. Now, let's take a look at Huawei Smart Education Solution framework. There are 4 layers in this framework. smart device could extend to each student, teacher, and each classroom. The pipeline contains the convergent network of wireless, 5G, and even IoT technology. Cloud DC layer acts as a digital enabling platform that using the latest technology to connect business applications of the partner through the loss-bound interface. Application layer could present various functional applications of teaching, research, management, and analytics. The classroom environment is one of the most important factors affect student learning. To improve the teaching and the learning experience, Huawei cooperates with partners and developed several smart classroom solutions to meet the multiple requirements of different classrooms. Huawei focuses on smart devices in class, including IdeaHub board and microcloud to improve the learning and teaching experience as well as management efficiency. We also provide the device, the cloud platform, to carry the applications and safely store and achieve teaching and learning data. The smart classroom solution is designed with students in mind and is focused on classroom application scenario that cover the whole loop of the classroom teaching. It synchronizes the whole loop of the teaching process before class, in class, and after class. It supports teachers with their course preparation. It provides multiple types of interaction in class and is safely collect the data of their classroom, achieves and outcomes to feed into a comprehensive course evaluation system. Next, we will introduce an innovative solution for smart classroom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony Sujun. Now, to launch our flagship product for smart classrooms, please welcome Mr. Pan Young, Vice President, Intelligent Vision and Collaboration Technical Sales Department of Huawei, for a solution launch. Mr. Pan Young.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Pan Young, responsible for intelligent collaboration product and solution sales at Huawei. Today, I'm so excited to introduce you a new product dedicated for smart education, Huawei IdeaHub board. The board is an intelligent collaboration device that's equipped with premier anti-blue light protection, helping to protect your eyesight. It combines smart writing, wireless projection, and open applications into a single board. The productivity tool provides superior collaboration, stimulating inspiration for smart education. Next, let me show you in detail. According to a survey, we spend 85% of time watching the screen. So display is the most important thing we care about. With a 4K soft light screen, the board comforts your eyes with low blue light, professional color correction, and adaptation to ambient light. The soft light screen provides crystal clear and comfortable viewing even under strong lights. In the era of education informatization, there are many choices of screen products, some of which have short wavelength blue light that is especially harmful to young people or long-term users. Even devices such as anti-blue light glasses or others can reduce the impact to some extent, but it might cause yellow cast that not only causes visual fatigue, but also affects children's color recognition. To resolve this issue, the board adopts the optical anti-blue light technology to prevent harmful blue light from the light resource and eliminate the color cast To demonstrate this strength, let's watch a video.
IdeaHub board, optical anti-blue light protection from the source, low blue light certification from the UV rainland for comfortable views.
Next, I have talked about eyes protection. I want to discuss how the board protects your eyes. The picture quality automatically color correction algorithm developed by Huawei made the blue a professional grade display and offers a 70% higher color uniformity than the industry standard. The board displays image in true and vibrant color, offering a vivid visual experience. The board not only adjusts its brightness based on the ambient light, but also uses anti-glare technology to reduce the screen light reflection, ensuring that you won't miss any important information. Due to this light reflection, in addition, the screen brightness is automatically adjusted based on the ambient light to ensure clear and comfortable viewing. The board supports both built-in Android and Windows operating systems. Simply tap the icon in the lower left corner to switch between two operating systems. You can enjoy the dual ecosystems without power off the board and inserting and removing the OPS. Next, let's talk about the projection function, Huawei Casting. Without installing the app, you can implement wireless HD projection from the drop-down menu on mobile phone. You can reversely operate your phone on a big screen, such as direct turning pages or making annotation. In addition, you can share content through the projection code. We call it Idea Shared Key. Writing is another core capability of the board. Writing on the board is as easy as using pen on paper, leveraging its 35 milliseconds ultra-low writing latency. IdeaHub board uses neural network algorithm to intelligently recognize text and graphics and convert handwriting to readable and digital forms. It also supports gesture recognition in erasing and juggling operations. The board supports up to 1080p at 30 frames per second HD cloud video meeting. By using external camera, you can join a meeting as easy as just scan a QR code by your mobile phone. Adopting in deep learning algorithm, the board supports intelligent background noise reduction and howling detection to block and mute irrelevant sounds to ensure clear voice even in a noisy environment. Huawei's smart classroom solution can be applied mainly in 3 scenarios: regular classroom, group discussion, and interactive teaching. A pain point for education anywhere is limited and boring course resources, as well as a lack of interaction with students. We know that vivid and interesting material can help teachers easily prepare and teach courses. and are helpful in inspiring students' learning and participation. In addition, AI learning evaluation can visualize the teaching process and the results. Traditional education only supports one-way teach and lack of interaction. By facilitating smart education, both teachers and students can interact and discuss with each other through the screen. Group members can also share content with each other for efficient communication. The screen of each group can be displayed on main screen for comparison and illustration, forming a good learning atmosphere. Remote interactive teaching is becoming increasingly popular. The IdeaHub board breaks the geography restrictions of the traditional teaching to ensure a resource of where those teachers and schools can be effectively shared. Now, remote cross-screen teaching, multiple end access to classrooms, regular class record can be used to accumulate and share school resources. Huawei IdeaHub board, Project Mice, right ideas. We are ready for the smart education. Are you? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pan Yong, for launching a fantastic solution for smart classrooms. Mr. Pan Yong, Vice President, Intelligent Vision and Collaboration Technical Sales Department. Now, this will definitely launch us into the future. We're going from old school to new school. So, as the next speaker, please welcome Mr. Jung Soo-chung, who is the founder and chairman of Wisdom Garden, and he will share the post-pandemic future OMO Smart Classroom. Mr. Jung Soo-chung.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Chen, the founder and the chairman of Wisdom Garden. Wisdom Garden is an educational technology company that has been dedicated to providing innovative products and services for schools. We have an educational research institute consisting of experts from academia, industry, and schools. We've helped many university, vocational schools, and K-12 schools to implement digital transformation and train more than 10,000 teachers to enhance their teaching, thereby improving students' learning experience and achievement. Today, I'd like to show you our newest OMO solutions, but I mean online merged offline smart classroom solutions that collaborative developed with Huawei. Let's have a look. Okay, let's get started from the situation we are facing, the post-pandemic period. During the pandemic, some teachers and students, or even most of them, have no alternative but to do teaching and learning remotely because of the school's closure caused by the outbreak. According to our observation and analysis, we can divide the entire process into 3 stages, and we call it the 3-stage returning model. As you can see, at the beginning, when most teachers and students are still out of campus, remote teaching and learning are the primary mode, or so-called online teaching and learning. When in the 2nd stage, some teachers and students are returning to the school. In this case, several learning activities can be done face-to-face, and some keep online. So blending teaching and learning are the main method to employ. And in the 3rd stage, when most or all teachers and students back to school, do they need to abandon the way they teach and learn in the previous stages? No need. It should be a combination and extension, but I mean the hybrid and flexible teaching and learning. We call it HyFlex. The truth is, in the past, most of learning space, such as classroom, are designed for the teacher and students are all in campus. That posed a big challenge to school during their closure. So what is HyFlex? That's the way the modern instruction changes. Take a look at the spectrum that we released last year. It covers face-to-face, blended, hybrid, and totally online scenarios. It provides teachers with flexible methods to teach. It combines the advantage of online learning and offline learning for students. That gives schools, teachers, and students have more choices to do their work and make teaching and learning more effectively. Before 2020, schools may know how to support face-to-face or some online teaching separately. But the problem is, what the role of technology in this? How can it help us to make it come true? When we talk about teaching and learning, in most cases, classrooms are still playing an important role. In the past few years, smart classroom has attracted public's attention. Look back the past 5 years, we conclude with 4 development stages according to our long-term collaboration with many top schools. In the digital content period, most teachers focus on presenting their teaching materials, especially the digital content, such as slides, images, videos, etc. In the central control stage, many schools pay their attention to effectively manage all facilities. For example, the projectors, microphones, and speakers. When it comes to third stage, people are more concerned about interaction between teachers and students in classroom. So big touch screens, some interactive tools, and lecture capture services are being used commonly here. In each stage, schools are concerned about different parts of innovation and the usage of technology. And actually, that brings us some advantage and some shortage at the same time. Why? Remember the new instruction mode we have mentioned, high-flex teaching and learning. It would be good to develop new type of smart classroom for the new area. So, how about stage 4? In stage 4, the major concept of smart classroom is about interconnection and ubiquitous. The interconnection meaning merge online and offline, connect every classroom and provide smart analysis for students, teachers, and managers. That's the joint solution developed by Wisdom Garden and Huawei. As to Smart Classroom version 4, or just call it stage 4, 3 things must be considered. First, focus on teaching and learning experience. Second, integrate technology with instructional strategies. And third, open-ended integration. All these focuses are for education per se. That's the core of smart classroom, not just for technology. As you see in the middle, the classroom would be equipped with Roomies, the IoT terminal by the door. It's the front end of a smart space management platform. Move on to the classroom. Microphones and cameras are to catch voice made in the classroom for doing lecture recording and interaction with remote participants. Plus, the IdeaHub board embedded on the walls will provide teachers and students with more opportunity to do interactive activities, such as presenting slides, sharing ideas, group reporting, remote teaching, etc. How does it work? First, in this interconnection smart classroom, StrongClass, an interactive learning management platform, will connect to all the devices, such as IdeaHub board, to support teachers' teaching and students' learning activities in classroom. Second, at the same time, combining with WeLink, StrongClass will make online teaching and learning happen, such as video conferencing and broadcasting. Third, the data and recordings from the IdeaHubs, microphones, and cameras will be sent to the video learning platform Truncast and analyzed by Huawei Cloud with AI technique to provide detailed analysis for all users. Even if you cannot connect to the cloud, the Edge AI provided by Huawei will locally provide high-speed processing with minimum latency to satisfy your needs. In short, from section 1 to 3, this solution is driven by software and greatly merge online and offline activities and data, records, and analysis the entire process for further purpose. This is what we call OMO Smart Classroom. This solution is all about experience. To be specific, for students' learning experience, teachers' teaching experience, and schools' management experience. What value this solution will give you? From 4 dimensions: instruction, resource, space, and data. It can implement high-flex course model in which teachers and students' experience will be improved. Plus, it makes resource management more effectively and enrich the application. It also offers schools an up-to-date space management approach that will better the quality of campus life. Last but not least, the OMO Smart Classroom will provide you with in-depth analysis, not just visualize the data, but to get the insights for decision or policy making. First of all, the high-flex teaching. In an OMO Smart Classroom, teachers would be able to conduct online teaching, face-to-face interaction, or blended activities. In addition, if some students are from a distance, teachers can easily set up a video conference and interact with all students via your mobile phones or the interactive boards. As a teacher, you can teach in your ways without environmental limits, no matter online or offline, synchronous or asynchronous. That is high-flex teaching. Speaking of learning, students will be able to join a course or access to what they need via their own devices, such as smartphones, laptops, tablets, or the IdeaHub board. And the lectures they attend will be entirely recorded and managed on Truncast. AI technique will provide them with the knowledge notes and subtitles to review or take notes for enhancing their learning. What I mean by this is OMO Smart Classroom not only enables students to learn anytime, anywhere, but also provides schools with possibilities to nurture future talents and make no students left behind. Let's talk about resources. This solution offers systematic management for schools and teachers. There are multiple layers in resource library. For example, personal and public resource library. As a school manager, you will be able to review and manage all public resources with convenient backend functions. As a teacher, this solution will enable you to prepare your own courses more effectively by reusing or citing the materials from other teachers or yourself. Furthermore, if you want to copy all content from one course to another, all you need is a click. That makes teachers' course preparation more efficient and makes staff management easier. Remember the lecture recordings? In an OMO Smart Classroom, lectures will be automatically recorded according to school's timetable. No matter real time or after class, experts will be able to do their superintendent's work online without bothering teachers and students in classroom. And the keyword retrieval and video watching analysis will help teachers get better preparation for their students. Additionally, teaching behavior analysis would allow school managers to know better about teacher status so that they can provide them with more handy supports. When it comes to instructional space, not just a classroom, in our OMO Smart Classroom solution, the core idea interconnection means to connect every classroom to other learning space via our smart space management platform and the IoT terminal, that is Roomies. It links each rooms in campus, such as general classroom, smart classroom, conference room, laboratory, and so on. School manager can easily get timely information from all linked IoT terminals on their phones or PC, thereby taking necessary actions such as reporting or make an announcement. Of course, as we said earlier, in-depth analysis is one of OMO solutions features. Well, the learning platform TrunkClass will track students' behavior and make it visible. As you see the picture on the left, after teacher upload videos and allow students to watch, they can see students' behavior, such as where to watch, how many times, and the frequency. The darker the color is, the higher the frequency is. In addition, you can check students' learning progress anytime, anywhere, on your phones or laptops, so that you can adjust your teaching design or provide them appropriate learning materials timely. And the learning alerts that automatically sent by the system would inform the schools, teachers, and parents about student status and take remedial action if necessary. From managers' perspectives, education data are not limited in one course. It should be cover all courses, school members, various dimensions, and multiple layers. No worry, we provide a complete analytics mechanism for you, focusing on instruction and management. All students' learning progress, attendance, courses preparation, teacher and students' engagement, and so forth will be digitalized, analyzed, and presented in a dashboard module. This analysis can be used to review teaching qualities and take necessary action to improve it. Moreover, education data such as system status, teaching and learning task progress, resource usage, support services, you name it, will be reorganized and analyzed to provide you with objective and comprehensive reference when making important decisions or policies. Now, a case in point, Suzhou University. Take the principal's lecture as an example. The teacher can do face-to-face and remote teaching at the same time and broadcast the lecture to more than 10,000 students. And it doesn't just happen in one classroom. This solution makes every classroom to be the OMO classroom. The whole process is recorded automatically by the platform so that other teachers can observe and learn something new from it. The students will be able to review and learn deeper via the video. It's a good example of high-flex course model. What will it be if we successfully develop an OMO environment? It will be formed as an ecosystem. As you see in the framework, on the left side, it must follow international, domestic, and industrial standards to make sure the extensibility. And it should be developed for all school members, supporting various devices and merge all online and offline scenarios. The key point is to conduct teaching, learning, evaluation, and management, the four main dimensions that exist in every school, and in which learning and teaching are always the protagonist. Finally, the big data generated by school members from the four dimensions can be organized and analyzed for more valuable applications, such as adaptive learning and policy making. That's the way to the future education. Our mission is to reform education via technology, thereby making teachers' teaching, students' learning, and schools' management easier. And the most important thing is to be your best partner on the way to the future education. Let's make it happen together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zhang Shucheng, founder and chairman of Wisdom Garden, for giving us a glimpse of the post-pandemic future classroom. But these are solutions that are available today. The future is now. Thank you, Mr. Zhang Shucheng. And that brings us to the end of this session. Thank you, honorable guests, for your valuable insights and knowledge sharing. But most of all, thanks To you, and thank you to you for your attention, for your time, and for your availability. The future of modern education is now. We are transforming from old school to new school with the application of online and offline teaching and learning. Thank you.